Welcome to our part 3 of the discussion on integrity, and the next section is called Corporate Ethics Programs. So in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, Kali Yuga is called the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. We have something that we will just talk about. With so much talk about integrity and ethics, why are breaches in ethics, both individual and corporate, all too common? So why not acting in harmony with ethics is so frequent in the world today? For many years we have seen a strong emphasis on ethics training in colleges and in organizations. Organizations spend lots of money on ethics programs or ethics education and training. Sadly, according to one recently retired ethics director, he said, some executives are concerned primarily with public image and perceptions. In fact, the ethics program is often started as a response to public outcry or internal inquiry. Ethics directors serve as a point of contact for whistleblowers and for unempowered and uninformed individuals who don't know how else to get a problem resolved. When leaders justify the means by the ends, people pick up the signals. In other words, people will see when leaders are not consistent. They note who is hired, promoted, and rewarded, and why. They see who gets away with murder and who condones inappropriate behavior. Having an ethics program may make people more sensitive to such issues as sexual harassment or sexist language, but they rarely stop or even slow the avalanche of unethical behavior. In fact, the program may just drive unethical behavior further underground, making people even more devious. To work at looking ethical is a fundamentally flawed approach, because it's not about humility, accepting principles, aligning with those principles, submitting to them, and obeying them. It's more about pride, having some compartment inside a person or an organization called ethics or values, but not deeply integrated. As universities and corporations add classes or offices dealing with ethics, people begin to see issues through that departmental frame of reference rather than having their perspectives governed by a universal frame of reference or framework of integrity through which they see everything. The ethics dilemma is analogous to the quality dilemma. You can have a so-called department of quality and think you've done the job. You can't add quality to a product after it is finished. Rather, you have to design and build it in from the beginning, seeing everything you do through the lens of quality. Likewise, you can't inspect in ethics. When everybody accepts personal responsibility to behave in ethical ways, you hardly have to think about it, because ethical behavior is your nature, not the responsibility of some artificial department down the hall. When leaders are open and exact in their observance of ethical codes, they inspire others to do the same. One leader, when stepping down as president of a large university, was commended by the chairman of the board. A few reach the pinnacle of professional or social or financial success through devious means. Others may be more virtuous but still show a lack of sensitivity to loved ones, friends and colleagues as they climb to the top. Those who combine honor, integrity, devotion and sensitivity to family and friends are rare indeed. You are one of the rare ones. Too often ethics are separate from the everyday life of the organization. Professional ethicists may huddle and talk, but most of their practice is reactive in response to people not walking their talk, feeling that the only wrong is in getting caught. They may handle a complaint to allay a lawsuit, but they are not preventative or integrative. As long as there is a great disparity between the corporate ethical stance and individual behavior, the individual will feel no obligation to live by corporate ethical codes. Your vision, mission, ethics and value statements will be even more valuable if you don't rush the creative process, announce the result, then ignore or dismiss the document as some meaningless formal exercise. As you involve people in the creation of a code of ethics and review it regularly with them, you build humility and courage into the culture. The ethics statement becomes a constitution when it becomes the center from which everything else flows. Then you don't have this seeming to be ethical. In organizations of integrity, ethics is not just another department. The organization serves as a second family. People are humble because they know that principles are in control, not people, programs, and politics. They not only believe in timeless principles, but also have the courage to act on them. Yes. And the last section is application and suggestions. Write in your journal, what does it mean to you to be a person of total integrity? Choose one area in your life in which you could show more integrity, then do it. How does it feel? In what areas of your life are you an example of courage, of humility? To what extent do you enjoy the fruits of integrity in your life now? Write down one circumstance in which you have shown more courage and another circumstance in which you have shown more humility. Write down one circumstance in which you could have shown more courage and another circumstance in which you could have shown more humility. Try it. So thank you very much for listening. With this we will finish our discussion on integrity. We hope this was valuable to you. If you have any questions, then please write me through Facebook.